So today we're talking about Highguard because there's a lot about this game that I think is really interesting and weird, and also this game's not that great. I think that's kind of self-evident because the player count went from like 100k people to literally 1,000. But what's interesting about this game falling off so hard is the game itself is not horrible. It's just not great. Like, I played the game before the servers got shut down because, let's be real, that's where this game is heading. And it's not really a bad game. I think the biggest problem with Highguard is it's not really a great game in a market that needs to be a great game. Like, there's nothing about Highguard that separates it from like Overwatch or Apex Legends or anything like that. It's just kind of a standard hero shooter game. Like, sure, it has the mounts and those mounts are kind of cool, but ultimately the mounts are there because the maps are too big. Like, it's not because the mounts are integral to the gameplay, it's because the maps are so big that you kind of need the mounts, because mount combat is not good. Like, when you're fighting on a mount, it's not great. You can kind of catch people off guard sometimes, and most of the time you're probably gonna get shot off because it's really easy to shoot someone on a mount. But there's ultimately nothing really unique about this game. When I first saw this game in a YouTube video, because I did not see it from the Game Awards, I saw it and I immediately was like, oh, this is Apex Legends, because I saw the way that the animations were moving and it looked just like Apex Legends. And some of the devs who worked in the game also worked in Apex Legends, so it makes total sense why the game is similar. But that's also bad because in my mind, this game is like nothing new, and I played it and it really is nothing new. This game feels a lot like Apex Legends. That's the best comparison I can make. And I also did not like Apex Legends that much. I did not like the shooting in Apex Legends, and I didn't like how the gameplay felt. So Highguard was not that great to me because I didn't like Apex Legends that much. But really, Highguard is nothing new. It is very much a cookie cutter template for like a hero shooter game in this kind of genre. Now, it's not a battle royale, which does make it a little bit different, I guess, from Apex, but the actual feel of the gameplay is not unique, and the only parts that are unique don't actually feel good. Like, there's this whole thing where you have to grind out farm to buy things from a trader on the map, and it just feels really clunky and unnecessary. Like, the game would be better if this was not in the game. Like, why am I playing a Fortnite minigame to get stuff from the item shop? This is kind of stupid. Like, my instinct for the game is to run around the map, find stuff in chests and things like that. My instinct was not to go to the shop and buy things. It didn't make much sense. And that's probably just because I play a lot of different games, but still, the shop thing felt really shoehorned in, and I did not like it. I didn't like having to mine for stuff either. I did not like that part at all. Like, there's a reason that Fortnite removed that from the gameplay. People didn't like it. And when I played Fortnite, I liked the building in Fortnite, but I didn't like the mining for items in Fortnite. That was not fun at all. And I think most people felt the same way, so they made an entire game mode removing it, and people really liked it. So I think adding this weird grind back where you have to time your hits on a piece of gem or whatever doesn't really help the gameplay loop at all. And another unique thing that Highguard added was the siege functionality, which is actually pretty cool. This is probably the coolest part of the game. Basically, you find this sword on the map, and when you find this sword, you get to siege the enemy base. And when you siege the enemy base, a giant battering ram like spawns from nothing and basically busts down the dome to the enemy's base, which is pretty cool. Like, I like this feature in the game. This is a really cool feature of the game. They should have focused the game more around this kind of thing other than like the other weird stuff in the game. I also think that Highguard just looks bad. Like, what was the decision making for this kind of art direction? It doesn't look good at all. Like, it's very visually cluttered and all the colors are just green and brown. It is not a appealing game to look at all. Like, there's a reason that Overwatch is so fun and colorful. It's because it's good. People like that kind of thing. It reminds me a lot of Lawbreakers, which a lot of you probably don't know what this game was. And it was basically some hero shooter that came out a while ago that said they were gonna beat Overwatch, and the game was better than Overwatch. The CEO of the company was like a massive egotist. He had a lot of problems with his ego. He was really insanely hyping up the game, and it flopped completely. But I think one of the reasons that game flopped is because it looked ugly to most people. I liked that game, by the way. I thought the game was good, but it was ugly. I have to admit, it was ugly. And I think Highguard is high-key ugly. Like, it's a free-to-play game, so they have to make money off of skins, and it's like, why would I want to buy skins in this game? The game is ugly. Also, on the topic of buying skins, why would I buy skins for heroes that I just don't care about at all? Like, granted, I didn't do much effort into learning about these heroes. I don't know what most of their abilities are. It seems like they're mostly based off some kind of animal, but I really don't know much besides that. But none of these heroes are super unique. All their builds are pretty similar. And I mean builds from like their visual standpoint, not their actual gameplay builds. And just overall, there's nothing that makes me care about these heroes at all. Also, there's no explanation as to like what this universe is, what we're doing in this universe, why we're even fighting to begin with. And I used to think that kind of thing wasn't super important to games like this, but I think it is, because I found myself wondering, why are we sieging this enemy base? Why are we sabotaging them? Like, what is the point? What is happening in this universe? Like, if this game wants people to get invested and buy skins and stuff, I think they have to do that for you, because why else would I buy skin? Usually if you like a character in a game, you like their actual personality. Like there's a reason Overwatch made a bunch of shorts showcasing each character's personality. It made you care about the game a lot more. And none of these heroes in Highguard really have much personality at all. And to bring this to Deadlock, my beloved, Deadlock is still in early development, but the characters are insanely detailed compared to Highguard. Every character in that game has a distinct personality. Highguard has none of that. And even going back to Team Fortress 2, Team Fortress 2 has the Meet the Team series. This makes people care about the game a lot more when the characters are actually cool and interesting. Highguard does not have characters like that at all. Like even Apex Legends has more interesting and unique characters. Like I think the base of Highguard where you siege an enemy's base is pretty cool, but I want more around that. Like what are these heroes? Why are we even fighting over these stuff? Why is there air blimps and also magic technology? What time era are we in? What fictional era are we in? Highguard would have seriously benefited from having actual characters in the game and also just a cohesive lore to the universe. There's just nothing about these characters that make you interested at all. And if you're making a free-to-play game that relies on people buying skins, that's a pretty important thing. Like even comparing it to Fortnite, when Fortnite didn't have a lot of lore and stuff that was baked into the game because it was newer, the skins in Fortnite were way more interesting. Like you wanted to buy these skins because they were interesting looking and cool looking. The ones in Highguard are just like, eh. And even though I don't play Fortnite anymore, I understand why people like it. It's very colorful and vibrant, and nowadays it has like Darth Vader and stuff. And I don't expect Highguard to get like Darth Vader skins or something, but it would have been cool if they made the game a little bit more unique. The game kind of just looks like game asset diarrhea. It doesn't look that good. But the best way to describe Highguard is it looks like the games the kids are playing in the background of a movie, like that copyright-free game that you have no idea what it is. That's what Highguard is. Highguard is like nothing really crazy unique. It's just kind of a game. And it kind of sucks it launched like this because it was on the Game Awards. It had a really strong chance of being a really big game if at launch it was perfect. And not actually perfect, but just in a much better state so people would actually want to stick around and play the game. Because I kind of see why Jeff thought the game was that good to put in the Game Award. The sieging thing is pretty cool, and if the game was based more around that, the game would actually be pretty cool. The problem I have is the sieging function is such a minor thing in the game, and everything else about it is not that great. Like the gameplay loop is not that great, at least for me, and I think for most people, let's be honest. But the main reason I'm even making this video is because at one point the development studio basically said, hey, the Game Awards showing us off screwed us. They were initially going to do a shadow launch, and for some reason this game studio thinks that would have worked out better for them. Like I don't know what kind of rock you guys are living under, but like a shadow launch would have been infinitely worse. This game does not look that appealing. People would have saw it popped up and no one would have played it. If your game gets shown off at the Game Awards and gets 100,000 players in like the first hour and it flops after that, there was something wrong with the game. It had nothing to do with the audience that saw it. It was something wrong with the game. Enough people were exposed to this game to get people to want to play it. A shadow drop for Highguard would not have helped it at all. It's just not that great of a game, unfortunately. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're new, and click the down to check out more of my content, and have a go.